I wonder what I should eat today. I'm fancying something nice. I know! Komle! Well, I'll need to search up a good recipe. I don't quite know what I'm doing here. Only my grandma knows. How to make komle. That sounds good. So many recipes. Which one should I choose? Menu. That's probably good. I'm reading the recipe and something must be wrong because this is not how you make komle. My grandma would never approve of this. Let me read again more properly. This is terrible. What they're saying is they're cutting the potatoes first and putting them in boiling water. When on earth would you do that? That's not what you're supposed to do first. What you're supposed to do is cut the potatoes and place them into water. You need to slice off the skin of the potato and place them into water, which they've done. However, they're putting the sliced up potato into boiling water, which is wrong. You're supposed to put it through a slicer. If you don't have a slicer machine, you cut it up yourself, which they've done here, which is correct. But then you should get a masher and push it through a strainer so the water from the potatoes can go through the strainer and strained, or out of the potatoes, which they've done here. But in here, they're saying they're doing it with a spoon, which is absolutely terribly wrong. What are they doing? A reason why it's so important to strain it in a strainer is when you take away, when you look at the bowl under where the potatoes have been strained and the water is there, it will also be strained something called potato flour, which will be used to mix it together and make it hold, to make a ball like this. The next thing they're saying is once you have this, you make it into a ball and then put it into boiling water, which is right. However, they're forgetting one big thing, which is putting in flour. And it will never, ever work without flour. Without flour, it's like having a plant without water. It'll never grow. It'll die. So this will never work without flour because the ball won't stick together and be able to be a komle. Now, they're forgetting about the pork bits, the meat that's supposed to be in here, in the komle. Well, this is just terrible. See, this is the end product. It's supposed to be bacon like there is here. No sausages, no mashed potatoes. It should just be the meat in the middle, bacon, sugar, melted milk, melted butter. This person needs 2 pieces of bread. Let's create him an idiot sandwich. This is a disgraceful recipe. Let me show you how it's done. First, let me just put on my shades and show how cool I really am. And cool people make them. The ingredients for this recipe are potatoes, flour, bacon bits or salty meat bits. It can be of your choice. Salt and pepper. And the toppings will come at the end when we're actually making it, putting it together. Here are the potatoes, nice and peeled, which are all ready for the next step, which is cutting them. Now we're taking potatoes. Here my grandma's doing it, and she's just cutting them in half, and then she's cutting them into 6 different pieces, which is done as so. And you do that for all the potatoes. It is handy when one cuts and then the other one pushes down this machine here, and it's to make the mash. So what we're doing now is taking it away from the machine and then pressing it down to get away the juice into this bowl, because it won't when making the ball, it will not hold if it's too wet. Like this, loads of juice coming out. So now the juiced out mash or the potatoes will be put into this big bowl here. As you can see, now it's all dry. Like all this is much drier. This is because it will hold much better and the food will taste better. And all this juice is coming out the potato. Loads of it. And this is critical that it's not in the potato while it's making. So now the juice is being poured out and the stuff under there will be used.
Och det heter potetmel.
And this is called potato mel, which is flour. Now this is the potato wheat or flour that will be put back into the mix. This is what will hold it together and make it combined, along with the normal wheat or flour that you buy from the shop. So now what we are doing is cutting up the meat, which will be put into the komle, or the potato ball. These bits will be cut up into small squares. So now, since we have the all the mashed up, we're going to put in the flour. I'm only going to do half, otherwise it'll be too much. So here's me pouring in half. About half, you can just eye it. Like that. And then you start mixing it. You need a little bit of wet hands because then the flour won't stick to your fingers. So now I'm just going to mix, try to get it all in. Stop. As you can see, I'm kneading it in, getting all the flour, trying to mix it as well as possible. Now we're putting in some salt. Now, since it's all kneaded in, we'll just put the rest of them in. Now, what we do is we get a little bit of the dough, like this, and then we put in 3-4 pieces of our meat, like this, and then we just start packing it in. And maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
Sånn.
Nei.
Helt over kjøttet.
Lage en god ball. God ball, litt sånn.
Now it's good, and then we carefully put it on here, and then put it into the water. Carefully.
Ja.
It's very important that they're very close together, so you have as much space for the next one. Very close. One thing that's really important is the water cannot be boiling, but just before it's boiling, because once it's boiling it starts creating a rouse in the water and you don't want that. But still, it's very warm. So now, as you can see, it's all in there. It's almost overflowing, but it should be fine. And now we have to wait 2 whole hours for them to cook through and be edible. Now, while we're waiting, let's list all the different names for kompe.
Kompe.
Komle.
Ball.
Klubb.
En gang til.
Klubb. Raspeball.
Now the kompe, the balls, are finished because they have risen to the top. So that means they're finished, and now we're cooking some bacon bits to go with it. So now the kompe is done, but we need the toppings. So what you drink is normally milk, which you'll put in a glass, and then you put melted butter on. This is just normal butter that you've melted. And you have sugar, and you have bacon bits. And then you have the salt and pepper, which go along with it. And you can choose what you want out of it. And here is what it looks like. So now we got the finished product, and this is how you do it. So you cut them into pieces, as you can see. It's open. And then just into squares. And then you get your sugar, and you put it on top, or on the side, or you can have it like this, and then you dip it in, and then you get your bacon bits, throw it on, and then the smud, the butter, can go on there. And go on the side. Now, I've tried mine, and I believe mine to be, I think that mine is really good. But now, let's get the real test. My Not
Oh,
taste it.
delicious.
No, be honest.
Lacking a little bit of salt.
A little bit of salt.
Yeah,
What else?
that's it. It's delicious. Consistency is delicious. It's, yeah, really nice.
But out of 10, what is it? Don't be generous if you've had better.
I would say an 8.
Great job.